Good morning, everybody. I'm Pam from Old Hippie Homesteaders. Today I'm going to be recanning fruit cocktail. Now, you can recan number 10 cans. It's not, it's not a bad thing. It's not, it's kind of taboo in the canning world, but the reason I'm recanning fruit cocktail is none of our fruit ripened. The pears, the peaches, the plums, nothing. After our snowmageddon, all the trees were covered in thousands of blossoms and they started growing beautifully, and then all of a sudden everything stopped. I have pears that are this big. We have blackberries that are still flowering. I don't know what has happened. I have no clue, but I know I'm out of fruit cocktail, and I had planned, since we saw all the blossoms and our trees have all the little fruit, I'd planned on making fruit cocktail. Well, that's not going to happen. The fruit it's not going to do anything. It's going to end up shriveling and falling off, and the chickens are going to eat it. So this is how I recan. So with the fruit cocktail, I got this brand, First Street. It's at Smart and Final. Smart and Final's kind of like Price and Pride and Cash and Carry. The can was like $5. $5. There's nothing weird in the can. I always read the backs of the cans, all the ingredients. There's nothing weird in it. There's no genetically modified nothing. It's just plain good old fruit and a simple syrup. So what I do is, to make sure that the jars have enough syrup, I strain it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to strain it. Boy, I hope this works. There we go. So I'm going to separate the fruit from the juice. We'll let it sit there for a little bit. Now all the jars are clean. The seals are all done. Everything's ready to go. Now when you hot bath this or steam bath this, it's the same as you would if you were canning pears or peaches or anything like that. Same time frame. So for pints, it's 20 minutes. Quarts, it's 25. Okay? Now this has all been separated. It's just fruit up here. Can you guys see that? Oh, let's see. There we go. So it's all drained. Put this back. Okay. All right, so it's all drained. Gee, I think there's probably been like 8 whole cherries in the thing. So I want to get a good amount of the fruit compared to the juice. Even our grapes didn't turn out. Our grapes are the size of an eraser on a pencil. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to be putting the fruit in there first. Not sure how many pint jars this is going to take, but like I said, I have no fruit cocktail in the pantry at all at this point. This is really easy for you guys that don't have room for a garden, but you want to be prepared, or you don't have any fruit trees. Now there is a company close by to us that you can go to over to their orchard and buy cases of the fruit, but it's the price of it. It's unbelievable. I was looking at tomatoes, and they're almost $60 a box. $60 for a box of tomatoes. When did that happen? Now this isn't going to hurt the fruit at all to reprocess it. It's not going to hurt it at all. There's a lot of cherries in that one. Divide that up a little bit. I think I probably have enough. I have 1 jar extra, but I see a few of the jars aren't really full. So I'll go back and fill them. You want to get about the same amount in each jar. So you get a good amount of all the fruit, not just pears or not just peaches. Okay, put some in here. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to show you the juice. So here's all of the heavy syrup. This is heavy syrup. Now when I make mine from scratch, when I do a heavy syrup, I do like 3 cups sugar, 5 cups water. That's my idea of it. So I'm going to start putting a small amount in. If you need to make more heavy syrup, that's okay. And if you run a little short, you can always add a little water to this. That way it won't be heavy syrup. It might be a medium syrup or a light syrup, depending on how much water you want to add to it. I'm not going to add any water to this because I don't need to. Okay. A little more over here. You just want to put a little in at a time in the beginning. You can always go back and add more, but if you put in too much, it's going to be a big mess. Look at that, almost perfect. Oh, I can put a little more here. Hate to waste that. Well, looks like I'm going to have to. Okay. Always keep your area clean. Okay. Wipe off the rims. You don't want to have any reason for your seals not to seal. Now this can be hot bath or steamed. It will not, you won't have to use a pressure canner, so don't worry about that. Now I have equipment for hot bath and steam. I'm going to use the steam canner today. I like using the steam canner because it doesn't take up all the water that the regular hot bath does. Okay, so this is called, it's a Fruit Saver Steamer. I got it off of Amazon. So what you do is you fill this with cold water, and when you set the tray in, you don't want the water to go over the tray. So the water is right at the tray, okay? So there's a gauge on this. Let's see if I can. There's a gauge on this. I don't know if you can see it, but it shows you for your elevation. And on the lid, I think it's the lid, there is a hole. You see this hole? You want to aim that away from you. You want to aim that to the back of your stove. Oops. So you're going to turn this on high. Okay? You're going to put your jars inside. Right? And I've got the hole facing the back. And you're going to put the lid on. And you're going to watch I'm going to watch the gauge. When it gets to my elevation, then I'm going to turn this down to like medium to hold it at that gauge mark. And then once you reach the elevation you want, once it gets to that point, that's when you turn your timer on, okay? So I'm going to let this heat up. I'm going to let the gauge do its stuff, and I'll be back when all this is done. So probably about 30 minutes or so. Okay, so the steamer is done, but according to the instructions, when you turn it off, you have to let it set 5 minutes. I don't know why. Maybe it's a pressure thing, but you just have to let it set for a few minutes. Okay, let's see what we have. There you go. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Can you guys see this? There you go. The fruit does not get mushier, nothing, when you recan it. Now, the only thing I do not recan is anything that needs to be pressure canned. I will not do that. I know some people do. To me, that's just, I think it's pushing the envelope. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you are a person that recans number 10s and you have to pressure can them, more power to you. But I won't do, the beans, the vegetables, nothing like that. I only do the fruit, and what else have I done? I did barbecue sauce, I did ketchup, and I did seafood sauce, cocktail sauce. But that's because I was out and I don't have the money to go buy all those supplies. I don't have the money for that. But I want to have things on my shelves in my prepper pantry. So here you go. Doke. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope you learned something.